Hey everyone, welcome or welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for clicking on this video. If you're new to my channel, my name is Melissa and I'm a nursing student. So before I get started with today's video, I do want to take a minute to say thank you so much to Ana Luisa, which is a jewelry company. They recently sent me 3 gorgeous pieces of jewelry that I have been obsessed with. The first piece of jewelry is this gold linked heart pendant shaped necklace that I'm wearing around my neck. I am obsessed with it, especially since Valentine's Day is coming up. I plan to be wearing it the entire month of February. The second piece that they sent me are these gorgeous, gorgeous elongated gold hoop earrings. I have been wearing them literally all week. I love hoop earrings, especially gold hoop earrings, and I've never had elongated ones. So they're almost kind of in the shape of an oval, and they're just different to me. They definitely stand out, and I have just been obsessed with them. And then this last piece of jewelry that I received is this croissant ring. I'm not sure if it's a crescent ring or a croissant ring, but it's so gorgeous. I've wanted one of these for a long time, but I've just never invested in one. And this one is actually a little bit different because it has jewels in it. Ana Luisa, if you're not familiar with them, is an amazing jewelry company. You can find their stuff online. I will go ahead and link their website in my description box below. But what is cool about Ana Luisa is that they offer very high quality jewelry at an affordable price. And another really cool thing that I love about this company is that they are carbon neutral. So their products, the jewelry of course, is carbon neutral, but their packaging is also carbon neutral. So Ana Luisa is actually having a Valentine's Day sale that is going on right now until February 16th. And I have a code that you can use to get a discount off of any of your purchases. You can buy something for your significant other. I buy gifts and jewelry for myself all the time, especially for Valentine's Day. That's definitely something that you can do to treat yourself. I also love treating my mom and my aunties. So if you are looking for a gift for yourself or for somebody else for Valentine's Day, I will go ahead and put a code down below so that you can get a discount off of your purchase from Ana Luisa. I will also go ahead and link to their website and the 3 pieces of jewelry that I was sent. So thank you again so much to Ana Luisa. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and get into the topic of today's coffee and chat video, which is talking about things I wish that I knew before I started nursing school. And for those of you guys that don't know or that have not seen my previous videos, I attend Chamberlain University, the accelerated BSN program. So I am not currently a licensed nurse. This is not a bridge program. I am in school getting my bachelor's degree in nursing, and instead of taking 4 years to get it, I'm in a program that is condensed into 3 years. So with that being said, I started my degree in 2021. I believe. It's crazy. Time has been flying. I'm graduating in the spring or summer of 2024. So I have a little bit over a year left to go. So I know that everybody's journey to nursing school and in nursing school is completely different and unique to them. But at least for me, one of the biggest things I wish that I had known before starting nursing school is that the prerequisites are harder than the actual nursing classes. Again, for me, in my opinion. So things like biology, like microbiology, chemistry especially, anatomy and physiology, I found all of those courses to be more difficult than I am finding the actual nursing classes to be so far. So whenever I ask other nursing students or whenever I go online to look up what are the hardest courses in nursing school or what is the hardest class in nursing school, I always get the same 3 answers, and it is pharmacology, med-surg, or pathophysiology. People will either say some type of combination of the 3, or they'll say one of the 3. I have now taken and passed pharmacology. I have taken and passed pathophysiology. I am more than halfway through med-surg. At Chamberlain, my school, because it's accelerated, med-surg is kind of split into 2 courses. I have taken and passed med-surg, like med-surg 1. I'm now taking med-surg 2. I'm not going to sound cocky or anything. I currently have an A in the class and we're like halfway done. I'm about to take my first exam, so my grade might drop. But the point is, if you ask me out of my entire nursing school journey which class I think would be the hardest, my answer would not be any of those 3 classes. It would be chemistry as a prerequisite. When I was taking chemistry, I would always go online and look up you know, am I going to be able to make it in nursing school because I'm struggling with these prerequisites? And everybody just kept kind of saying the same thing, and it really made me doubt whether or not I could even become a nurse if I was struggling with the classes before getting into nursing school. But of course, everybody has different strengths and everybody's learning style is different. Obviously, for a lot of people, it appears that the prerequisites are significantly easier than the actual nursing courses. Like, it's a lot easier for my brain to understand a concept of this is a disease or an illness. These are the symptoms that the patient should be exhibiting. This is what you should do if the patient is exhibiting those symptoms. That is so much easier to me than learning about the different compartments of a cell and the chemical makeup of stuff. So another thing that I wish that I had known before starting nursing school is to never, ever, ever get behind on your work. I get a lot of comments from you guys saying that you are entering into certain classes and you're nervous. What tips do I have? I will always say that my biggest tip is to stay on top of your work. Nursing is one of those majors where you cannot wait until the last minute to do your work, to study, and to submit assignments because you will not succeed. For me, it's a major that you need to, from day one, stay on top of your work and study. So after lectures, you should be reviewing. Even if you're just reviewing for 10 minutes before going to bed every day or every other day, it's something that you kind of have to build on. Everything that you learn in class and everything that you learn week to week is building off of what you've learned the previous week. With the other 2 degrees that I have, I could honestly slack off all semester or slack off for most of the semester. And then in the final couple of weeks, I would have like a big final paper due and I would just, pull all-nighters, get that paper done, get like a 90 to 100 on it and still pass the class. With nursing, it is very difficult to do that. Once your grade kind of sinks in nursing school, it's very, very hard to build it up, especially since most, if not all, nursing schools do grade on an upward curve. And at least for Chamberlain, I think I'll actually go ahead and put like a scale here of like what an A is, what a B plus is, a B, a C, whatever. But at least at my school, you need at least a 76% in a class to pass the class versus pretty much any other major, like maybe a 72 or 71 would be a C and that's still passing. In nursing school, a 76 is, at least in my school, a 76.0 is a C and that's a passing grade. A 75.9 is an F and you fail. So the next thing that I wish that I had known before starting nursing school were all of the resources available to me in order to help me to succeed and pass my classes. For all of nursing students, there are certain resources that kind of universally will help. So like there are certain YouTube channels like Khan Academy that I think is really good for prerequisites like chemistry, microbiology, anatomy. There's also something called Simple Nursing. I personally pay money every month and subscribe to that. Simple Nursing is amazing. And I did not find out about Simple Nursing until I was over a year into the program. I really wish that I had known about it sooner. So there are resources like that where universally, no matter what school you're in, they will probably help you. And then within each school, there are certain resources. So for those of you guys that attend Chamberlain also, I'm talking about VCAS. It's where you can kind of like go online and there's a portal that has all of these different classes that are in the nursing program. You can filter it by class. You can even filter it by exam or by topic. And then they will have like PowerPoints or lecture videos for you to watch that are made by and conducted by professors at Chamberlain. And then within each course, depending on who your professor is, how nice they are and how willing to go above and beyond they are. Sometimes they will make you certain PowerPoints of topics you should really focus on, or they'll just kind of highlight things and kind of help guide you and give you resources like worksheets and stuff that you can use to kind of help you study. There are a lot of things like that available and I just didn't even know. There have been times in the past where I have taken classes and I've gotten to like the final exam or like week 7 or 8 in my class. And then that's when I found out that in the file section of the class, there were all of these resources that I could have been using from day one. The next thing I wish that I had known before I started nursing school, everybody is coming into the nursing program with a different background in healthcare and different experience levels. So I'm not gonna lie, I came into my nursing program a little bit cocky just because I have healthcare experience. So even though I have not been a nurse, I have volunteer experience. I've worked as kind of like an unofficial aide. I've worked in management in a healthcare facility. I've seen the day-to-days of a healthcare facility. But one thing I really didn't anticipate was that, at least for me, healthcare management or a degree in healthcare administration is very, very different than being clinical. And so I definitely got a wake-up call because I went into my program thinking that I was going to have all this experience and that I was just kind of going to be a step above everybody else, which, you know, it's not a competition. But in my program, there are medical aides that have years of experience. There are CNAs, there are techs, there are radiologists, there is a phlebotomist. I also have a couple of nurses in my program who are LPNs, and now they're going back to school to get their bachelor's degree and become a registered nurse, which is amazing. But of course, an LPN is a nurse. So people like that already have on-the-job experience. Everybody has their different specialties and their different areas of strength. So instead of looking at it as a competition or looking at it as I'll have a leg up, or on the other end of that, if you don't have any healthcare experience either, that is completely okay. Another thing I wish that I had known before starting school is that everybody has their strengths and their weaknesses. So just because you are not doing well or are not strong in the didactic portion of a class, which is the lecture portion, like where you're sitting down in a lecture, that does not mean that you're not going to be amazing at clinicals, and vice versa. You may be somebody who is not great at clinicals. Maybe you are just not the quickest on your feet, or you're really not a people person and you're not going into nursing to be at the bedside for very long. That's okay. If you are not great at clinicals, you could be amazing at the didactic portion. You could also be somebody that is amazing at both, or you could be somebody that's kind of middle of the road at both. That's totally fine. Me personally, I think that I do better in clinicals than in the didactic portion of the course. So the last thing that I wish that I knew before nursing school was not to allow people to psych you out. And I guess this kind of ties into bullying in a way. I've been fortunate that I have not experienced bullying with my cohort. Everyone's really chill. But I have experienced kind of like know-it-all people. I don't want to be mean because I don't think that anybody necessarily does this on purpose. I think sometimes people are insecure, or they're just a bit type A and they like to talk things out loud. But pretty much any class that you have in any subject, any major, but especially with nursing, you're guaranteed to have some classmates that kind of raise their hand more than others. They talk about their own personal experiences. They like to kind of showcase their knowledge and all of the things that they've been studying, and just kind of like almost one-upping you, like, oh, I've been studying this, I study every single night. And if you're not doing those things and you're hearing that other people are doing those things, it can really psych you out. So I'm a pretty confident person. I don't typically get like psyched out or intimidated easily, but nursing school is very difficult, especially if you're like me and you're not great at test taking. You're almost guaranteed in nursing to have students, or a student that, you know, raises their hand for every little thing. They typically talk about their own personal experiences, and that can psych you out, or that can kind of freak you out. For me, at least, it does. So what I do most days, whether or not I have an exam, but definitely on exam day, what I will do is I will walk into the building with my AirPods in. So my AirPods are in, my music is on, I can't hear anything anybody's saying. If you walk past me and say hi, I'm not going to hear you. You could wave, I'll wave back. I try to be friendly. But if you ever see me on campus and I seem antisocial or just in my own little bubble, that's my own coping mechanism. So yeah, I'll walk on campus, I'll walk into the building with my earphones in. I'll be like on Pinterest or just doing something on my phone to just help myself zone out. I'll go into the classroom, I'll set myself up like with my snacks and whatnot. I'll keep my earphones in. I sit in the very front row. Every class I take, sit in the very front row. I sit in the middle. That way I'm only looking at the whiteboard or the projector, not looking at anybody or anything behind me. I'm not listening to anyone or anything behind me. My classmates could be having a conference about what they studied and what they didn't study. I can't hear it. I'm not letting it get into my head. And then once class is over, I'm the first one out the door in my car going home. I'm not staying around to chat about anything. And so that has helped me significantly. I don't even engage in any of what I consider background noise, just because it makes you feel, and it makes me, I can only speak for myself, it made me feel insecure. It made me feel like I wasn't studying enough, I wasn't studying the right thing, I wasn't doing enough. And going into an exam or a learning environment like that for me, it just was not healthy. And so I kind of wish that I had this tactic the first year of nursing school. I adopted it in year 2, and I'm going to use it until I graduate. It's helped me so much. I actually think I've started doing better on my exams because I'm not going into it with so much anxiety. I feel like I do better in the classroom setting now because I don't really engage in that like almost competitive showboating. I just don't even like to partake in it. And so my advice to you, if you're watching this and you're kind of like me and you don't really benefit from like hearing stuff like that or being a part of discussions like that, especially before exams, is to kind of find a ritual to take yourself out of that more competitive environment and just be focused on you. Because really it's not a competition. It's not a competition of who knows the most, who's studying the most. Your only competition is with, you know, yourself. It's not about who gets the highest grade or who's doing this. All you want to do is just make sure that you're doing your personal best, that you're passing, and that you're learning enough to be able to pass the NCLEX and do well in the field. Anything else you really shouldn't be interested in. So that is everything that I wish that I had known before I started nursing school. I have a little bit more than a third of the way to go, which is crazy. I graduate next year. I might make an update to this video once I'm completely done with nursing school, but for now, these are all the things I wish I had known before I started. If you guys like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you have not yet subscribed to my channel, please hit the subscribe button. Really quickly, I want to say thank you again to Ana Luisa for partnering with me for the first portion of this video. I will go ahead and put the link to their website down in my description box below, along with my discount code, so you can go ahead and shop their Valentine's Day sale from now until February 16th. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.